from top to bottom. That means from present starting position to ending position. Ending position of the water pool, it has 9 feet depth. So whenever he was thrown and tossed inside of the water pool, at the end of the water pool, he got so much fear. In the sitting position, he was drowning in the water. He was going inside of the water. The 9 feet of the water, the 9 feet deepness of the water pool seemed to be 90 feet to him. Because of the fear, 9 feet became 90 feet. So he understood, he thought that the depth of the water pool at the end of the water pool is so much. With that fear, he thought like that. Actually, it is 9 feet only, but it seemed to be 90 feet. So he got so much terror and horror in his mind. While he was drowning, his mind became blocked with that fear. In that panic, he got so much fear. But his mind is not out of the thinking. So he made a plan. He wanted to apply that plan. Whenever he reached the bottom of the water pool, he wanted to touch the water pool, bottom of the water pool, hit the bottom of the water pool with his legs, and he wanted to take a long spring. He wanted to jump towards the surface of the water pool. In that way, by floating on the surface of the water pool, he wanted to paddle to the edge of the water pool. That means whenever he hit with his legs the bottom of the water pool, with that force he can go upwards. By reaching the surface of the water pool, he wanted to paddle, he wanted to swim to the edge of the water pool. But whenever he hit the water pool, bottom of the water pool, and he was going upward, he thought that he reached the surface of the water pool, and he opened his eyes. But he did not reach the surface of the water pool. When he opened his eyes, he was able to see the water, the yellow color water, and he wanted to take a breath, but what he swallowed is nothing but water. He was afraid. So the process of drowning in the water pool is explained in 7 ways. The total story. And aversion to water. So first of all, when he was 2 years of age and 11 years of age, 2 years of age, when he went to California Beach, where did he go? 2 years of age, my dear students? When he was 2 years of age, along with whom did he go to the California Beach? With his father. At that time, strong wave knocked him down and moved over his head, and he was drowned in the water. With the force of the water, he was suffocating. Suffocating is not able to take breath because he was under the water. So he was not able to take breath. Then that fear continued, remained with him till he got 11 years of age. Second time he again started. So an aversion means dislike. He disliked to go to the water pool because the water made him get so much scaredness. So the misadventure is nothing but when he was 11 years of age, 10 or 11 years of age, again he attempted to learn swimming. He wanted to learn swimming. At that time he was insulted by bully. He got a fear of this bully. Bully is nothing but a strong person with an adamant attitude. The person with so many muscles. Though his age is 16 years, he seemed to be a person with the age of 20 years because of his physical appearance. That person tossed him and lifted him and tossed him at the end of the waterfall. That is called mishap or misadventure. Mishap, M-I-S-H-A-P, mishap or misadventure. Attempts of Douglas to save his life. So he planned to come out of the water. So whenever he reached the bottom of the water pool, he wanted to hit the bottom of the water pool to go upwards. But his attempts failed. A sheer stark terror, a sheer, only stark, complete terror he got. His mind is filled with so much darkness. His heart is thumping, making, his heart is pounding, making sound, and his mind, something, darkness spread. Though he tried, he was not able to reach the top of the surface of the water pool. The fight for survival is lost. So two times he tried, and the third time also he tried to reach to the bottom of the water pool. Though he got so much panic means uncontrollable fear. Though he tried his level best to reach the surface of the water pool, but he was not able to reach. There was one time he reached at the surface of the water pool, and he started taking the breath, but he swallowed water. Though he reached nearly surface of the water pool, a strong thing which was pulling him down at the bottom of the water pool. Nothing is there to pull him down. His fear only made him drown in the water. In that way, the fear made him lose his life. He is almost going to lose his life. So finally, all the attempts he tried to reach the surface of the water pool failed, and complete darkness spread in his mind, and everything seems to be happy. He went into unconscious position, and the legs stopped working and giving help to him, and the legs were paralyzed. Finally, he left everything to the water. He stopped swimming, and he stopped using, because the fear made his total body paralyzed. So when he opened his eyes, he was lying on the floor, on the earth, beside the water pool. That way somebody might have saved him and leave him on the near the edge of the water pool. At that time, the bully, the person, the cunning person, the mentally retarded person, that person tried to explain in a common manner. I tried to throw him into the water, but I did not expect that he would reach such type of condition, almost ready to die, almost reached the position to die. So at that time, whenever he was saved, and he went to his house. There he lay on the bed, and he was feeling very uneasy. He felt he was insulted. He was not able to save himself. That's why he was thumping the bed and tearing the pillows. In that way, he felt very uneasy. He was not able to see his friends. He was not able to meet his friends. All people are making fun of him. He was the person, he was the boy who was going to lose his life when he drowned in the water, like that. So because of the fear, he was not able to go to water pool. He was not able to go to water bodies. He was not able to move on the boat in the water. That's why he was deprived of the happiness and the entertainment he can get by the water bodies. Actually, water bodies, water pools, rivers, all people are moving on the boat, but he was not able to move in the boat. By seeing the water, he was getting so much fear, so he was not able to go for canoeing. Canoeing is nothing but a small boat which is used by the one or two people to go from one place to other place. And he lost all the entertainments relating to water bodies. And finally, he decided to appoint one swimmer to learn swimming. So With the advice of his mother, he appointed one swimmer. That swimmer put a belt around his body with a rope, and he moved the rope on the pulley, and he held the other end of the rope. So here, whenever he relaxed the other end of the rope in his hand, the boy was going inside of the water. Whenever he touched the water, whenever his legs touched the water, he got so much fear. The legs were paralyzed. They were not working. They are not moving this side and that side. So to move his legs in the water, he took 3 months. 3 months, up to 3 months, he was not able to move his legs, because whenever he saw the water, whenever his legs reached the water, felt the water, he got so much uncontrollable fear. So finally, he took 3 months to touch the water. After 3 months, he started moving his legs, and he was thumping at the sides of the water pool. In that way, he made his legs strong, and he was accustomed to water, body parts of the water. And finally, the swimmer, the trainer, taught him how to take the breath, how to inhale when he was swimming, how to exhale when he was in the water. So side strokes, up strokes, like the step by step. He taught him how to swim in the water. He made him to push the water under his body with his hands, and he also learned by keeping total his head in the water and moving the legs this side and that side, and move the hands over his body to move the water downwards. In that way, he started swimming in the water. So step by step, piece by piece, he was able to learn how to swim in the water. And finally, after some months of training, the other declared that the trainer declared that other was able to swim in a proper manner. So finally, he declared that other became a great swimmer. So other, though he learned swimming, he felt somewhat uneasy, a little vestigious. Vestigious means remainings. So previously, whatever the fear, whatever the scaredness he got, that fear entered in his mind. Though he was perfect in his swimming, now and then he felt somewhat uneasy. To remove such type of fear, he wanted to test himself whether he became a perfect swimmer or not. For that, he went to so many water bodies, Wentworth and Warm Lake. These are the places he visited. Wentworth and Warm Lake. These are the Wentworth and Warm Lake. These are the water bodies he visited. And evening time, he went to those places and he pitched a tent, he arranged a tent. And early morning, he started swimming the lakes. So one time, when he was in the middle of the water, he got a fear. Immediately, he came back. Then, to test his courage about the fear of water, again, he jumped into the water. He went to Warm Lake and he swam across the water lake, other side of the water lake. So finally, he felt very happy, and again he came back in the middle of the water and he cried, shouted at the fear, "Oh fear, come and make me get a fear, get a scaredness." But he overcame the fear because of the experience. So practice makes a man perfect. In that way, other by getting so much practice, he went to all the water bodies in that area where he was living, and he got severe training and became a perfect swimmer. In that way, he became a perfect swimmer. He overcame the fear he got when he was 2 years of age and 11 years of age. So, my dear students, here the morality in this lesson we are going to learn is fear. You should not entertain in our mind. Because of the fear, whatever the work we can learn within 1 month will take 1 year. Other also simply to keep his legs in the water, he took 3 months because of the fear, because of the scared. He was afraid of the water. That's why once Franklin D. Roosevelt said that what we have to fear is fear itself. That means in the minds of the people, we should not entertain fear. We should not feel fear. If you get fear about anything, our capacity will be slowed down. We can't take proper strength. We can't get a proper strength. Our strength will be dwindled, lessened, decreased, reduced because of the fear. That's why fear is the word which makes the person gets failed. So failure of the person will be taken place only because of the fear. That's why the word fear we should delete from our mind. So President Franklin D. Roosevelt said that what we have to fear is fear itself. Don't entertain the fear. Vivekananda also said that if you think you are weak, you are weak. If you think you are strong, you are strong. The weakness and the strength of the person depends upon his thinking. That's why you feel courageous, you feel bold, you never entertain fear in our mind. Whenever you maintain fear, whenever you feel the word fear in your mind, whatever you can do, you can't do. It is the thing which makes the man failure in his or in his life. That's why fear we should not entertain. So by this lesson, my students, what we have to learn is fear we should not entertain. That is the first thing. And the second one, perseverance and persistence. Though you got fear, though you got so many difficulties, without taking those difficulties in our mind, we have to continue our activity until you reach our goal, until we get success in that performance. And finally, what he said is practice makes a man perfect. So because of these moral activities, the other was able to achieve the he overcame the fear of water and he became a perfect swimmer. So in this lesson, my dear students, what we learned is the fear got by the other. William O. Douglas, when he was 2 years of age and 11 years of age, because of the water, the fear of the water made him lost all the entertainments and happiness, delightfulness relating to the water. By paddling, by moving the water, by moving the hands in the water, tapping hands in the water, and walking, paddling in the water, children are getting so much happiness. But he was not able to get such type of happiness because of the fear by the two situations, incidents he faced when he was 2 years and 10 years. He did not go to the water bodies and he lost the happiness and he was deprived of the happiness of the water when he was a child. Later, he practiced with the help of the swimmer and he overcame the fear without